little light setup I did out of my apartment during coronavirus, locked inside quarantine, and I also did the shoot with my own little trigger. So I wanted to show the effects of light if you change it, move it, straight on you, off of you, and I'm just using a continuous light, which kind of helped me cheat for metering, but I wanted to do it because I was doing video. I ended up deciding on one direction, but I still think I should have stuck with the original way when I just had it pointed at the wall. It was a little more subtle, but I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys. All right, there's my light. I don't have it directly on me for a deliberate reason. It creates overexposure. It's really sunny out, and because I am doing this with literally my own little trigger and not having somebody able to focus and refocus, I'm having to use the tracker focus on my phone. I'm doing this on my phone, but you can do this in your camera. But I didn't want to set up my camera because, again, I can't, this is great. It flips around and I can get a view and I can drop the exposure if I wanted to, but this is just so much easier. So I'm bouncing the light off of that wall because I found it diffused at about the amount that I needed for the distance of where the camera is sitting, so it focuses really nice and it's a lot sharper. That chair right there is literally holding up my tripod that I have my phone on, and we are going to flip around and I will show you what that looks like from that view when I hop into pose. Okay, so here's what we have going on. As you can see, there's nice highlights, lowlights. I'm not blown out and overexposed, and the camera can still follow me and focus. Also, I could probably come forward, but I didn't like the crop and I have to do a horizontal for a video. But I can come over and drop it down if I want to, and that would work, or I can angle it higher looking down or looking up, depending what I want. So, but as you can see from changing where the light is pointing, because it's kind of a harder continuous light, I didn't bring out strobes or anything like that, it allows it to kind of settle down and not be those hot spots so that it looks cruddy. And you also don't want it directly on the person, because then it just looks like you stuck that on-camera flash on and you just were like an event photographer and you just shot it, and it really flattens the image and it doesn't bring it to life. It's not as three-dimensional. So I think that doing it this way, I'm just a single light setup. Again, you can see it's super affordable. You could even do this with lamps or any sort of available light. You just need enough and to be able to pull it up. I am going to flip this around really quick to show some different perspectives on if the light was straight on me, how bad it would look, and things like that. This is with the light not pointing towards the other wall. This is with the light pointing just towards this wall. See that hot spot? It's ugly and yucky and it blows the image out. Sure, in a camera you could readjust it, but you're still going to have a fight. It's still going to create a little bit of problem trying to get a nice evenness. Now, if I had another light over here to balance it out, the camera would adjust, and it also would be easier if you're manually adjusting for you to figure it out. Otherwise, it's a little confused on where the sensor should meter from and all of that, and you just end up with these weird highlights and lowlights. I don't necessarily think that looked that great. I mean, I could go for that. There's a use for everything, I think. So, you know, that's one idea. Okay, I'm going to point it right at me in a minute. Here it is right at me. Actually, it's not as bad as I was thinking. Sometimes it really is not flattering because it's such a hard light, as you can see if I'm up too close. But then again, I guess it works out okay. You can also, though, if it is too hard of a light, you can throw something like a pillowcase over it if you want, or like if you have a sheer piece of fabric, you can throw that over the top of it. If you want to fake gel it, you can get colored fabric and do that. There's so many things you can do with just one light. So anyhow, but there's my little example and experiment on different lighting and the effects of it with just a one light setup and what you can do from home and make it work. I hope it's helpful and it's kind of interesting, and I also am trying to show that you don't need big fancy plates to make an image look really great. This, you know, it's just good framing and kind of fooling the audience onto, you know, what everything looks like. You can really dress up a corner and make it look pretty darn expensive. You'd be pretty surprised. So I hope this is helpful. This is a Diva ring light. I didn't pay a whole lot of money for it. I got it on Amazon. I recommend it, and I have kind of a ghetto stand. I think I only paid like 20 bucks for it. I probably need a new one. Patreon. That's what the sponsorship money goes towards. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.